Okay, today is the day we tackle this cart. I really want to get this cart taken care of and turn it into a STEM cart for my kiddos. So mostly for my daughter, she really enjoys activities like that. But I think once she starts doing them, the others will follow. So yeah, I've been wanting to do this project for I don't know how long, for a long time, months, literally. And since school starts on Monday, what better time than now? So let's get into this. First thing I'm going to do is empty out all the stuff that's in the cart. It's actually kind of amazing how much stuff I was able to stuff into that cart. So I cleared it out so far, emptied everything that was in there. It was kind of just becoming a catch-all. We had some colored pencils. These are for the kiddos. They're watercolor colored pencils. When we were going out and about more, we were doing art like at the zoo and things like that, so we would take that with us. And that's just kind of got some catch-all things here. Pencils, erasers, just randomness tossed in there. So I took out what didn't need to kind of be in there. Oh, I took out everything actually. And then this box was kind of our creative box, or make something box, I think is what my daughter was calling it. And it just has a lot of little things that they can use to recycle and make new things with. Paper bags, some stuffing, some pom-poms, plastic bags, bubble wrap, some tools, just things like that. So I think I'll put some of that in there. And then I also had started putting some supplies that I had gathered in there. So more recycled stuff like corks and toilet paper rolls. I mean, if you've never saved toilet paper rolls in your life, do you have children in your life? Because that's just a thing. So, and then some yogurt containers and little plastic containers we had washed out. Rubber bands again, coffee filters, these STEM books that I had purchased from Target, and then just cards that will encourage. These cards are actually from Days of Gray. I'll link her in the description box, but then we have some different STEM activities too, and I'll link as much as I can in the box. So I'm just going to try to make this more inviting for them. And then this cart next to it is going to be my teacher cart. So I was throwing some things in there like dry erase and stuff that didn't go in their STEM cart, but I will have to organize this another time. So I just went and grabbed some recycle boxes we had around the house that are a little smaller, things that we're not, to see if we can use it to kind of organize in here. This one goes to one of those boxes things, but the clasp doesn't close anymore, so thinking maybe they can use it if I take this part off. It's just a little tray or something. I also have this little doodad, and then we do have some kiwi crate boxes still that we haven't used, and these boxes are pretty sturdy, so I'm thinking maybe these will make good trays for in here too. But I don't know, I may not use anything and I may use everything. So let me see if I can get this somewhat organized and inviting. So this is kind of a cool little game that we had got. We bought a package of games that may or may not have had all the pieces. Most of the games did have all the pieces, but this is one that didn't have all the pieces. But inside it has like these little cards that it was meant to be a puzzle. These little cards are pretty sturdy, and so we decided we were going to keep them and use them for art or things like that. So I think I'm going to put them in here and see what we do with it. After I get our tools in the cart, I'm going to go ahead and start laminating some of these stem cards that we have. Here's just a little trick when you're doing like individual pieces or laminating smaller pieces of things, is to put a little dab of a glue stick on the back of them so they won't shift around as you're feeding it through the machine, and it won't show up on your lamination when you're done. It'll just kind of melt, but it keeps it still so that things don't move as it's going through the machine. And then another thing I like to do is kind of round off the sharp corners of that lamination, because sometimes it can get pretty sharp and hurt little hands. Okay, we finished the cart. So up on top here, I just put a little, this is one of our kiwi boxes, and I just cut the top off, and it just has some odds and ends in it. So some foam blocks, we donated the rest of these. So these were just a couple pieces that were left around. And this foam piece was actually one of those pool noodles that we had cut up. So that was with them. And then we just have some fun little animals and things like that, little toys that don't really go with any set in particular anymore, but we just have. So I have that there for them. Behind that, we have purchased these do-it-yourself puzzles, and so I thought this might be fun to have in there for them, so you can draw a picture on them, take it apart, and then put it back together if you want, or they could just use it for pieces. And then behind that is some of these bingo board type things for STEM ideas. I will link everything that I can down below, so if you wanted to print some off for yourself, you could. So I just have that up on the top. Here in this blank space here will probably be another tray, but I don't have one that quite fits yet for scrap paper and things like that. But for now, all I have is just a couple of pieces of scrap paper and then some tape there for them. On the top here, I just went ahead, these are little magnets, and I hung these up. These are kind of just STEM, not instructions, but I guess just like the flow that you want them to follow. So ask a question, imagine with the end, plan, create, improve. So I have these cards there for them. I did go ahead and laminate them like you saw, just to give them an idea. And then on this side, I just have a magnetic hook. And I think I might put 2 hooks, but for now it's okay. And this is where I went ahead and put their STEM building cards on. And again, like I said, I'll list everything that I can down below where we got them. So we just have some really cool little STEM cards that we've printed off and put there. And so that can hang there for them in case they need some ideas or something to get the spark going. And then in this second shelf here, we just have some STEM items. So in this bin here, I have some popsicle sticks, colored popsicle sticks, and then I also threw in a couple of pencils in there as well for them. So that's for building. They can use those. We have a ton of those pencils. These are like reward pencils from Target, and I bought a whole bunch, so I don't mind if they use these for STEM. Next to it, we have some plastic bendy straws, and then next to that we have some clips. So we have some clothespins, and then I also had these were like little pacifier clips when I had a small Etsy store once upon a time, and these are just leftovers that we didn't use, so I thought that they could have fun with that in there. Behind that in here is just some, these are actually shower hooks, but we weren't going to use them. We didn't end up needing them, so I thought that they could have that in there too. And then this is from that puzzle that didn't end up working out, so I just reused it as a container. If we keep going down here, I have some rulers. So the way that I've done it is I kind of used these to make other little pockets. So there's no actual container for the straws. It just fits in between here. And then the rulers. In here, this is a little Lego piece that I had made. We have one for our schoolroom in another area, but this one I just put in here. So all I did was take one of these little square Lego boards, base boards, actually from the 99-cent store, and so is this container. And then we just it snaps, and then we just put some Lego pieces in there for them to use as building. So we have one in there. On this side, we just have our reusable, yogurt containers we washed and things like that. They want to build with that. And then in one of the yogurt containers, I went ahead and put some rubber bands. And then in this cup is some toothpicks. Our next shelf down just has some more of those yogurt containers, and in here I just had some foam letters, and so I threw those in there. We have the cardboard rolls, and then I also have in the back here some of the coffee filters. In this container we ended up putting these popsicle sticks I had put little Velcro on them, and so they stick together, so they weren't playing with them anymore. Just like that, so I put them in the STEM kit thinking that might be fun for them to use to build. So that just gets housed here, and then behind that I have a roll of tulle that I don't even remember where I got it, but I went ahead and put that in there too. In this cup is just some more like odds and end type pieces. There are some printed out petals, flower petals. There are some printed out like flower petals and things like that that got laminated for a project and we didn't use. So I went ahead and threw these in there too in case, I don't know, in case they wanted to art or use them. So that's just in a cup back there, and then here has some of our plastic bags. So my daughter had checked out a book from the library once about all these ways you could use, fun ways you could use the plastic shopping bags. And so I just kind of fold these up and then put them in here. I just save a couple. Most honestly, we just take back to the store and recycle if we use them. And then these are those puzzle pieces that actually came from here. So I have those in there for them too in case they wanted to do something fun with that. And that's that. That's that third shelf there. On the final shelf here, I have just some thick cardboard pieces, some recycled packing paper. So sometimes they will color on it or they will just use it for other activities. One day they made giant airplanes, so that was really fun to do. And then here is where I put their STEM books. These, like I said, I got from Target. I will try to link the video if I haven't already, but it for sure should be in the description box below. But I got these from Target, and they just have little fun recording ways to record your STEM projects. Underneath that, I just have some magazines here that we got, and then they can cut up and use and, you know, recycle that way or make art projects. So that is it. This is their STEM cart. It will probably turn into a STEM/art cart really, but for now we're just going to call it a STEM cart and see where it takes us. I'm super excited for them to use it as the new school year rolls in, and just anytime really. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed the video. If you did, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you'd like to see more inspiration amongst our chaos.